kind of cool to see both these two pickleball superstars kind of coming in, getting some before and after care and seeing outcomes in it. So, this technology is great, but what I would tell everybody out there, whether you're a personal trainer or an athletic trainer for athletes, it's, you kind of have to get outside the box. But if I handed everybody this 10,000 RPM, $1,000 device, you may only use about 20% of its value. So it's knowing how to use it, which really is the secret sauce behind this education platform that I developed.
This episode is sponsored by Bemer Therapy. If you guys want to check out Bemer, a great medical device. I've been using it for a long time now. I sleep on it. I use it morning and night. You can go to my website, TysonMcGuffin.com, and see what Bemer's all about. What's going on? My name is Tyson McGuffin. Welcome to the McGuffin Show. It is a beautiful day, beautiful snowy day here in Coeur d'Alene. Had a power outage earlier, but we are back in business. Got my guy here with me, Matt Gloyd. He owns PT3. When I was injured there in Phoenix, I ended up getting a hold of Matt, went into his business, and pretty cool. He does this thing called vibration therapy with this tool, and made my foot much better. Brought some blood flow in there and got me back walking and all that. Anyhow, Matt Gloyd, what is going on, brother? How are you?
Doing great. Yeah, we're out in Phoenix. We got bad weather here too, so we're all screwed.
But my man Matt here, good-looking guy, as you can see. I'll tell you what. We spent some time together at the Super Bowl. And he was rooting for the Eagles, and unfortunately, actually, the Eagles were winning, and Matt told me that I should come see him. He had some extra seats that he somehow found, and right when my wife and I sat down next to him and his buddy, the Eagles started losing. So, and his buddy actually mentioned that maybe it was a curse because we came and sat next to him, but anyhow, man, those Eagles went down.
Yeah, that second half was play not to lose. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I'm sure you made a couple bucks off the game. I was hoping that maybe you pitched the Chiefs. So if you made out good,
funny. Tell you what though, that stadium, that energy, how much craziness was at that game was super cool, man. I was happy that I was able to go.
Oh yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Bucket list kind of thing. Enjoyed having your company. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure, brother. And then this last Thursday, you were telling me that you were courtside for the Lakers and Suns game, huh?
Yeah, I've had quite the ride. I'm sitting front row, listening to Markieff Morris. He was kind of explaining why he shouldn't have got the technical. The ref wasn't having it. I tried to put in my 2 cents. They didn't care, but the seats were awesome.
That's too funny. Okay, Matt. So tell me here. Let's start from the very bottom here. So what's your story? Where are you from? And I guess just kind of give us a story from the start.
Sure. So my name is Matt Gloyd. I grew up in Arizona, and I ended up kind of playing football at the University of Arizona. And then realizing that just like any college kid, you don't know what you really want to do. I just, parents being doctors, I thought maybe I'd work for a sports team. And, I ended up kind of going that route pre-med, and eventually kind of got my deal working, started my own practice, going to people's homes. So, this company called PT3 out here in Scottsdale and nationwide, we basically go to deliver the service to your home, whether you're needing personal training, physical therapy, acupuncture, or massage. We kind of deliver the service to you. So that's the unique model that we offer here in Scottsdale, and it's kind of starting to penetrate the United States. But what's really cool about it is we're all about delivering the highest quality of care, getting people better faster, whether it's an athlete that needs to get back on the court like yourself, or it's really an executive that just retired, wants to play golf after a rotator cuff tear.
Right.
So we would deliver that kind of cool concierge service to the home. We also have private client centers in Phoenix, and we're going to have one in Dallas here very soon. So it's a pretty unique model, and you've experienced yourself when you kind of went down, and hopefully you kind of appreciate that it's not about, one of our best resources, time. We got an hour with everybody, not like traditional PT with 15 minutes, and then we're using technology that nobody knows about. Because if we find something that can advance or accelerate the outcome, we're going to get it. And we don't care how much it costs. I mean, we have all the bells and whistles. But this technology that you've had called rapid release technology is a game changer. And it just really gives us, it's almost like taking a machine gun to a butter knife fight, is the way I describe it.
Love that
And it
analogy.
feels like yeah, everybody's using butter knives out there. And it feels like, when are they going to realize there's AK-47 to get people flexible that's already
Bring
out
in the
there?
big guns, huh?
Yeah. So
And
that's
something I love is that I love that one stop shop model where you can come to PT3, you can get personal training, you can get some rehab, you can get some high level stretching, acupuncture, like you mentioned. I went in there, worked with one of your masseuses. She was great, got a massage. But for athletes like myself, honestly, it is so convenient being on the road or having something like that in Coeur d'Alene where I can simply go and get a lot of that stuff done.
mm,
And it seems like, nationwide, more on the recovery side. I think I was telling you about there's a company called Restore where you can go in there, you can get IV, you can get stretched, you can go in the hyperbaric oxygen tank, you can use compression boots and all that. So it seems like there's a lot more. There's like recovery type,
mm.
companies that are out there where as an athlete or just anybody, you can simply go in there, spend 2 or 3 hours, and get a lot of that recovery stuff done.
Right.
So tell us a bit more about this AK-47.
Yeah. So glad you asked, because I got the AK right next to me. So most people are familiar with what's called a Theragun or a hypervolt, right? So a lot of people, I'd say 90% of trainers now, physical therapists, chiropractors, are familiar with this Theragun Hypervolt. And what this is more of a percussive tool, right? So it's like repetitive punching. And what we figured out about 7 years ago is there's something even better than that, and what it's called vibration. So this technology that exists, called rapid release technology, basically has the heads built into it, and it's vibration. So it's more of a like a surface vibration versus a repetitive punching. So the reason why that's key is the central nervous system. Our brain basically has a governor on it that will guard against stretch, guard against any type of manipulation. So the vibration basically hacks into that brain so much faster, kind of relieving that governor so that we can be more productive as clinicians, loosening muscles up. So if you're getting stretched, if you have something that vibrates that's not as loud and obnoxious, it's really going to allow the muscles to relax faster than if you have something that's kind of, punching. Like a good example would be when you roll on a foam roll, you roll your IT band. Most people do it and they feel that grimace. You're kind of grimacing and guarding against that deep pressure on your,
Right.
Your femur, basically. So, that point where you're grimacing, you're actually guarding against the stretch, right? With vibration, you're basically going to expedite that process, kind of get into the release so that the therapist is way more productive trying to release those muscles around the joint. And that's how we treat pain. So we use this piece of technology. We can do trigger point release with this more sharper tip, just like if somebody's digging their thumb into your upper trap or your glutes, we can kind of provide that trigger point release. We also have, a flat broadside. So if we're working on somebody's forearm or they have sensitive skin, we can kind of get across that challenge. But the key is really we're trying to get to the punchline faster. If we're trying to get the muscle to loosen
Right.
up, we don't want to wait for the guarding to occur. Why this technology and our protocols are so advanced beyond what I would call the butter knife technique that most traditional PTs are still kind of carrying out in these clinic settings.
Love that. Yeah, and that Saturday night, I think got a hold of you Monday. I think I saw you Tuesday or Wednesday, and walking into your clinic, as you saw, I was basically on one leg, and And I mean, honestly, after about 15 minutes of being on your bed and you working out my foot, on like a scale of 1 to 10, going in there, I was at like a 9. Right? It was stiff. There was no range of motion. There was no. It felt super limited and stiff, and I honestly, it was mind blowing that after about 15 or 20 minutes of you working out that left heel and kind of working my calf and working my Achilles, like it was down to a 4. I felt like there was blood flow in there. I felt like things were moving around. I had extra range of motion. I felt like there was less inflammation. I was completely shocked, and not only did you work that area, but obviously I have a banged up hip that all kind of led to my foot, and I think some of the stretching, and stretches with the vibration, I mean, is a freaking game changer. And you obviously sent me home with the manual. My wife and I have been doing those morning and night. And honestly, man, I mean, I have a Theragun and I have your machine gun, and I've been using that machine gun over my knife. But no, honestly, game changer, man. And I remember walking out of your clinic on that Tuesday or Wednesday and being able to put pressure on my heel and actually walk out, not acting like I was hobbling. So
Right. What's crazy about that is, we didn't know at that point the MRI had already been taken, right? So we didn't know how bad the tear was. We just assumed because of a pop that you had a tear. So, and what's crazy is, we had to be kind of sensitive not to try to provoke something that was already torn.
right.
But I think what's special about this is, when I felt your uninvolved foot, your right foot, I could kind of tell immediately that you were already a very stiff, tight, very rigid with your connective tissue. So part of that's because you're a complete badass on the court and you work out like a crazy person. So, you got all this adaptive shortening going on. So I knew that there was some opportunity to really free some of these adhesions, buy that tear a little bit more mobility, so there's less tug and pull on the heel, which is basically plantar fasciitis. So I was excited that as soon as I felt you were so stiff on the uninvolved side, which means your body is pretty stiff,
Yeah.
that there was a lot of upside, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought it was pretty cool. You limp in, and then we almost had to tell you to chill out because you're already doing all these little like power jumps, like, ready to get back on the court.
Trying to test it a little bit. Yeah, no. Yeah, and then directly after me, Lauren Stratman came in there and got a little work done from me as well, and it sounded like she was very pleased.
Yeah.
So
Lolo came in, and she couldn't cross her leg, very well, and so just kind of one of these baseline measures. We took a picture of her trying to cross her leg, and just 30 minutes later, she's crossing her leg with no pain. So it was kind of cool to see both these two pickleball superstars kind of coming in, getting some before and after care and seeing outcomes in it. So, this technology is great, but what I would tell everybody out there, whether you're a personal trainer or a athletic trainer for athletes, it's, you kind of have to get outside the box. But if I handed everybody this 10,000 RPM, $1,000 device, you may only use about 20% of its value. So it's knowing how to use it, which really is the secret sauce behind this education platform that I developed. And it's basically giving you the fast track and the tips on how to treat anything from TMJ down to plantar fasciitis. And we've already done the trial and error over 7 years. So our textbooks, I mean, basically, this is your user manual for whether you have a Theragun, Hypervolt, any of these knockoffs that are out there. I feel like everybody's got a massage gun at this point, whether they're using them for physical therapy or other things. We won't get into that, but I think nowadays it's about how to use it, not so much what gun. But this is the gold standard from my perspective. Otherwise, I'd pay, to get another device that's already out there if it wasn't the best.
Right. And tell me, what type of clientele do you see that comes into PT3?
Yeah. So when I first started, I started working with the White House doctor under Bush and Clinton administration. She found out about me because we had a client in our existing clinic that basically I got to walk again without a walker, wheelchair, and she walked into her annual physical with this White House doctor who's a concierge physician out here in Scottsdale. And once she found out what I was able to do with this client, she said, you're going to be busy. I'm going to send you all my private executives. You're going to go to their homes. So first I started working with executives, people that are retired that just want to play golf in a country club setting. But then I started getting, because I was the pioneer between going to people's homes, I was getting guys like a sheik from Qatar. Somebody would call me and say, "Hey, we got a high profile client. They're coming to town. And we figure you're the guy that's going to go to his hotel or wherever he needs to go to get his therapy." And so that transitioned into an international operation, sending 3 therapists every 90 days: Zurich, Switzerland; Cannes, France; Doha, Qatar. And then we started getting other clients. So primarily executives, but then athletes make up about 10 to 20% of our clientele. I love working with athletes. I played football. I enjoy that piece of it. It was my original dream.
Yeah.
But what I love is that, the older people are getting, the more tight they are. So my opportunity for a lot of them is more extreme than, an athlete like yourself that's already a superstar. You work out all the time. You're inflexible, but there's guys in their 60s that need my help a lot more than you probably do. So I can provide a huge quality of life boost for these older guys, but and gals. But there's also my love for sports. So working with you has been a blast. I really want to connect with. I have about one professional athlete in each sport. But now that I'm obsessed with pickleball, I'm trying to take over the pickleball world with Tyson McGuffin at the helm.
And for all my viewers and guests out there, usually anybody that I bring on the podcast, I always send them a merch box. And so, yeah, Matt's got a couple kids, got a beautiful wife, and so I sent the whole gang a bunch of hats and gear and Power Air Invictas, and so Matt's locked and loaded and ready to kick some butt at the Arizona Country Club.
Yeah. We got this box. So my kids are 8, and then boy girl twins that are 7. We have 3 pickleball courts in our backyard because we found out this game was blowing up. And
great setup in his backyard, by the way. Sweet setup.
I mean, putting, chipping green. We got, basic country club. We're fortunate to have it. But now we got the Tyson McGuffin. We got the pickleball paddles. We got the beanies. I mean, we're all dialed in. My kids are more excited about Tyson McGuffin than Patrick Mahomes. So we got the courts set up. You'd think I was a better pickleball player and would have a better short game with all this in my backyard, but it's not true.
Work on that short game, man.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, watch out. Hey, give my viewers and guests some of the success stories, or I guess just some of like the therapy stories that you have seen over the years with, people being at your clinic, people getting introduced to this tool. I guess what are some of the stories you have for us?
Yeah, so the first story that, I kind of mentioned is, getting somebody with a complicated case of MS with one leg that doesn't work, almost wheelchair bound, getting them the mobility in minutes that gives me an opportunity to jumpstart muscles that I couldn't before, and getting them to walk without an assisted device. Like, those stories are endless in our clinic setting because we have more time with each individual. But the fun stories also are somebody tears a plantar fascia or a glute muscle and they can't play their round of golf in a member tournament or a professional tournament. And in just minutes, we get them back on track. And so they have the hope restored that they can get back on that court field, and be back to their quality of life. So restoring hope with all these people, whether it's a minor injury or, they just had a total knee replacement and you're able to get them full range in 6 weeks, they're back doing surgery. Or if they're, like I said, a retired executive, they can kind of get their quality of life, their activities back on track in minutes. So I think we're just, again, playing with machine guns when everyone else is doing butter knife work. And it's not to badmouth therapists out there. It's just more of, I think we just found, discovered something very special. And there's too many people that I think are closed-minded and maybe inside the box. And I would recommend finding cash pay therapists out there that are kind of driven by getting results versus in an insurance model. Unfortunately, people are always coming, so you can have your weight on your heels. So when I hire therapists, we certify therapists, we try to get them to think outside the box and be driven on, getting results. And that's kind of, I'm fortunate that I found Rapid Release Therapy. Go to their site, rapidreleasetherapy.com. You can see that technology that they created a long time ago. And then also, going to my site to understand how to use vibration to an optimal level to treat any pain, that's targetedvibrationtherapy.com.
Love that. And then how can my viewers and guests find you on socials?
Yeah. Yeah. So my Instagram, covers a lot of ground, but it's Matt_Gloyd_DPT. So that's probably the best way to kind of see my stuff and kind of see how the physical therapy clinic meets the vibration therapy platform.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see athletes like Tyson McGuffin on there, but yeah, I think there's a lot going on. I have a lot of interesting things to my story, but I just enjoy working with really good people like you, where I'm from, Lake Chelan. Tyson McGuffin grew up in, and it turns out that we hit it off right off the bat when he found out that our family goes to Seattle and Lake Chelan every year. So it's, he obviously comes from a humble background, and that's why he's so much of a superstar today.
Well, thanks, brother. No, it made my time that much more special, getting to meet you and realizing how much of a gem you were, and obviously how educated you are, in this space. And no, I think we definitely hit it off. So I appreciate you, my man. Give me the scoop on the family. What are the boys doing
Yeah.
these days? What's your wife up to?
Yeah. So my wife, Allison, she's on the board of a bunch of charities, and she's very engaged in the community. But we have these I call her the CEO of the family business. We have an 8-year-old boy, and then we have boy girl twins that are 7. So as you can imagine, she's got a lot of work to do
Busy.
on the home front, but
Oh yeah.
does a phenomenal job. She plays a ton of pickleball. She's like a crack addict with pickleball, so she gets into the member guest tournaments. And every summer we go to White Mountain Country Club, which basically up in the mountains when it's hot in Phoenix, and we just go nuts on pickleball, golf. Kids are, dialed into, activities with sports, and that's when we really get our pickleball and, start swinging those clubs. But during the year, they're in football, basketball. They nowadays, as you probably heard, sports are intense. I mean, you got professional athletes, kids that are playing,
Yeah. Right.
they're coaching. So every kid's got a strength and conditioning coach at like 7 years old now. So you're kind of competing with more resources than maybe you had in the past.
Totally.
So it's crazy. Yeah. How quick you got to get into it.
And you live in Scottsdale, correct?
Correct.
Good old Scottsdale. Yeah, I was a fighting artichoke back in the day, meaning I went to Scottsdale Junior College, 2008, 2009. We were like top 3 in the country in tennis. Ended up playing number 2 singles and number 2 doubles as well. And love my time there in Scottsdale, man. And obviously, getting to hang out there for a couple weeks, seeing you doing some PT and getting to go to Waste Management Super Bowl. I mean, beautiful area, great people. Cool thing about Phoenix too is that it seems like, shoot, I mean, you can really kind of cruise around to Mesa, Phoenix, Scottsdale, and everything's all within 20 to 25 minutes.
Right.
So I feel like they've done a very good job with just how they've like arranged their freeways and no, it seems like it's easy driving and not much traffic.
Yeah, we got what's crazy is you were there for the busiest week or 2 of the year. We got Barrett
Right.
Jackson, and then it rolls into the Open. You got concerts before, after. We got spring training coming up. I mean,
It's
I might have
nonstop.
to keep that. I'm taking a timeout before spring training gets involved. So
Are you?
recharge my battery.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
That's too funny. Well, shoot, Matt. Do you have anything else here from my viewers, brother?
yeah. My thing is, I get more information on our site about vibration therapy and how you can, whether you're a client that needs to kind of get over the hump on pain relief,
Yeah.
that would be the PT3 side. But understanding how to optimize the use of your tool if you're just trying to use it at home. Like, I'm kind of the guru behind how to use any type of power tool. Pretty soon, there will be kind of a standardized approach to people getting this kind of care. But in the meantime, go to targetedvibrationtherapy.com. You can go to, my Instagram and, really just kind of follow along with what I've been able to do. And cool people like Tyson are on there. And yeah, it's just, it's cool to be a part of good people and good athletes like Tyson.
Well, Matt, I want to thank you for coming on and wish your family the best. And make sure you keep that power air in Invicta in your hands, and that you're kicking butt on the court, letting people know where that paddle came from, if you know what I mean. But yeah, appreciate you, man. And next time I'm in Scottsdale, you definitely know I'll be in touch, and I'll be by the clinic. And I just want to say thank you, and keep on doing your thing, man. Good luck with everything.